Hi, it's your personal life coach, Sandra V. And I am so glad that you have chosen to join our blog today. Our topic today is change and transition. I'm really passionate about talking about change and transition because I have personally experienced many changes, many transitions in my life. There have been times that I have had to restart, I have had to reinvent, I have had to rebuild, and so I have learned through the process the value of both change and transition. And I'm hopeful today that after you listening to this blog, that you too will see the value in change and in transition. Now, I do know that change and transition can be very scary. It can be a little bit frightening. But once you understand what's actually transpiring in your life, it relieves many of the fears and emotions associated with change and transition. Transition comes in all types of forms. Perhaps you're going through a divorce or you've been recently divorced. Perhaps you're experiencing a career change or you've retired. Maybe your children have grown up and now you're an empty nester. And you may be looking around with this time on your hands and saying, what now? What do I do now? Maybe your roles have recently changed and you're wondering, what do I do now that I can maintain that feeling of fulfillment and as if I'm, being a contributor in life and I'm thriving in life and not just surviving, not just existing. So I want to give you 8 tips today that will help to bring clarity to change and transition and hopefully make it smoother. And I'm hopeful that after hearing these tips, you will pick up that phone or you will go to my website and schedule a time for us to sit and to talk and to see where you are, where you'd like to go, maybe use some self-exploration tools, perhaps do some testing out with different new ventures that you'd like to try, and put the building blocks in place for you so that you can map out how you're going to get to where you discover you really want to be. So listen, tip number 1 is this. Know this, that life has a way of giving us need for change indicators. Need for change indicators. And if you're finding yourself in transition, then you are probably experiencing one of those indicators or more. You are experiencing that need for change indicator. Also, I want to say to you, during transition, there are going to be small steps that you're going to have to take. All the steps you take are not going to be big. They're not going to be grand. You may not be able to do absolutely everything that you want to do all at once. But I want to say to you that small steps are still progress. Small steps are still progress. Number 3, listen. You must move forward. Even if you don't have the entire process figured out, you still have to move forward. Many times people get stuck in change. They get stuck in a particular place when they're going through transition because first of all they're caught off guard. They're in a place in life that they weren't expecting to be. Perhaps something unexpected happened, that caused them to be catapulted into a transition that they hadn't planned for. And so they can get stuck in a plethora of emotions and thoughts, overthinking what's happening, overanalyzing what's happening. Depending on the transition, there may be shame, there may be guilt, there may be embarrassment associated with that change, with that transition. But you're going to rebound, and I'm confident that you're going to do it. So know again that you must move forward even if you don't have it all figured out. And then certain circumstances will not change unless you yourself change them. It's highly unlikely that someone is just going to stampede into your life, take control of your circumstances and situations, and make things change, cause change. So it's up to you. Again, certain things are not going to change unless you yourself do the changing. All right? And then sometimes when you're at a crossroads, you're facing a new beginning, you're reinventing yourself, restructuring your life, a new beginning can actually feel more like an ending. The reason it feels more like an ending is because there are things that you may have to let go of. There may be ideas that you may have to let go of. You had an idea of what your life was going to look like. You had an idea of where you would be at this place and station in your life, and maybe that's not actually where you're finding yourself. You may have to let go of things. You may have to let go of different people, different relationships. You may have to let go of some things in order to maintain the flow of life, the current of life that you're in right now. And so a new beginning can actually feel like an ending. Because let me say this to you, many times in order to gain something, you've got to lose something. In order to gain the greater, many times we have to let go of the lesser. And so a new beginning can have some feelings associated with it that doesn't feel like a new beginning at all. It just feels like an ending. It just feels like everything has fallen apart, life has shattered, and this doesn't feel like a new beginning at all. It doesn't feel like a new opportunity, but that's a feeling. And then I want to say to you, talking about feelings, honor it. Honor the feelings that you have associated with the change and transition. Your feelings are valid. Your feelings are real. I'm not going to tell you to downplay the feelings. I would rather that you honor the feeling and work through the feeling. Allow yourself to be connected to what you're feeling, and then work through the feelings associated with your change, with your transition. But as you're working through the feelings, whatever you do, don't lose your self-confidence. Don't lose confidence in your ability to spring back, your ability to regroup, your ability to begin again. Don't lose confidence in yourself as you're honoring your feelings. The seventh tip today is don't overthink, don't overanalyze. Now you may say, Sandra V, that's easier said than done. And I realize that. There have been times that I have had to catch myself overanalyzing, overthinking, weighing it out, and spending far too much time, too much energy, and listen, too much mind space. When we overthink and we overanalyze, we are using mind space. We are using valuable time and valuable energy that we need to actually get our life moving forward, that we need to actually get us unstuck and move forward. And so when you catch yourself and you realize, man, I'm overthinking this, I'm overanalyzing this, reel those thoughts back in, because that's where your faith comes in at. All right? That's where your faith comes in at. And then I want to say to you, remind yourself that you're in a stage in your life that you are having to restructure, you're having to reinvent, you may be reestablishing particular areas of your life, you're reinventing yourself depending on what type of change or transition you're going through. And so because you are reinventing, you're reestablishing, you're restructuring, you're doing these things, you're going to recover. And one of the things that caused me to value change and value transition is this. When you experience change and transition, it's like life has handed you a blank slate. Life has handed you a blank canvas, and you can take the experience, the knowledge, the wisdom, the education, the know-how, the grit, and the determination that you have. You can take all of that and begin to paint again on this blank canvas. And so that's one of the reasons I've learned to value change and transition. And I hope that just in us talking right now, that you are seeing it through another perspective. You're seeing your change, your transition through another set of lenses. All right. And so because you are reinventing, then you are becoming the best version of yourself. You're becoming the best version of yourself. And because you're becoming the best version of yourself, the best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. So I encourage you today, rather than fight the transition, rather than be resistant to change and resistant to transition, get in the flow of life and lean forward. Flow forward. Flow forward and lean forward into your change, into your transition. And I hope that you'll give me a call. My number is 909-312-3555. My website is ExcelsiorLifeCoachCenter.com. I'm a Christian certified life coach, and so I'm Bible-based. I'll pray with you. We'll use the tools that will help you to see where you are, discover where you want to be. We'll design the building blocks, put them in place, and I guarantee you, your expectation, your passion for life, your desire to thrive is all going to be ignited. It's going to be ignited because you're going to actually see your stepping stones, your building blocks to where you want to be and the life that you want to have now at this time and this season. So again, give me a call. I would love to be a part of your next chapter. I would love to play a role in your new beginning. And I'm excited for you. I'm excited for what the future holds for you. 909-312-3555. Visit my website, ExcelsiorLifeCoachCenter.com, and let's get coaching.